Hello. I sobbed for 30 minutes last night. And if you're looking at my hair or my face because I just woke up, I'm having my first cup of tea for today. Um but I just needed to talk about this show. I'm tearing up again just thinking about it. Because I feel like my heart was shattered. My life was ruined. um, I don't I don't know where to begin, but let's just begin. So there's this book series. I think it's made of like 13 or 17 books in a series called The Vampire Chronicles by Anne Reese. Um, and the first one in the series, wait, Springtime. So the first one in the series is The Interview with the Vampire, which follows a literal interview with one and initially two vampires. Um, is it a love story? I would like to think of it as a love story and a family story and the story of heartbreak and sadness and mistakes and then making up for them and then making even bigger mistakes and just love in general. Some of my sniffings are because of the crying and the other half is because I'm allergic and it's springtime and this time of year just doesn't sit well with me, but I'm so sorry. I have to keep doing this and my face is so puffed. Anyway, off topic. So, I watched the show. I have never read the books. Let's be clear, it's because they're written in a classic way and I just actually they are classic. And I just don't vibe with them well enough. I even had like one of the books in my library for a long time and I didn't even know what it was about. Um, and then I finished the show last night. I fell in love with Lestat, of course. And then I remembered I had one Anne Reese book in my shelves and I never read it. And I'm not home right now, so I asked my sister to send me a picture and yes, it was actually Prince Lestat and the realms of Atlantis. And I was like, yeah, that's great. That's awesome. I'm going to read that. We're going to get there. Okay. We're going to get there. But first, let's talk about the show. If you have been around for quite a while in here, you know that I'm just obsessed with Supernatural. And the thing was that I did not know if I could ever feel the rush of a show ever again. I felt like nothing was going to top I felt like nothing was going to top Supernatural for me, like the way it was just so addicting and beautiful and you know, but then I watched The Interview with the Vampire and I was like, what do you mean? What do you mean? What are you doing to me? Okay, just tell me. Tell me what. In the show, we follow Daniel Malloy, who is a writer, reporter, who is invited to this mansion in Dubai to interview with the vampire that's living inside the mansion. And then we learn that they have like some kind of history with each other around like 50, 40 years before this. They attempted on something like this when Daniel was younger, but then things did not go well, you know? The vampire we're interviewing is called Louis. We love him. He has his flaws, but we love him, okay? He's doing his best. And then right off the bat, we meet the kind of, I don't know what to call him. Let's call him the the Hannibal to his will, you know? Lestat de Leoncourt. He is the most beautiful creature I've ever seen. You know, he's actually Louis' maker. And then we get to see them just navigate life together. Louis is kind of a broken person with like a sense of lost self and loss of motivation, loss of self. Um, I did I already say loss of self? I don't know, it's in the morning, okay? He's just not doing well, you know? And then Lestat kind of just obsesses over him like the moment he sees him. And so he kind of falls in love and he's like, you know what? I know your life is shit, but hear me out. I have this dark gift that I am willing to share with you if you want it. And then we could go to life, like go live our lives together. We could do everything together. We can be together forever. And then Louis like, here, do it, do it. And then they become vampires. And then the way I'm kicking my feet and giggling, if you haven't seen the show, you're gonna think that I'm talking about a sitcom. No, it's a dark thing. It's dark shit. Okay, it's as much of a love story as Hannibal is, and it's still beautiful. They hurt each other in unquestionable ways. They have no idea what love is, even before they meet each other. And then when they do find love, they have no idea how to navigate it. They're like, whoa, what is this? I don't know what to do with this. And so they just hurt each other even more. Is that my favorite type of love story? Yes. Is there something wrong with it? No. It is not a crime to enjoy something like this, okay? It feels like having a cold, but without the sore throat, and it's hard to breathe. Like when I get a cold, it's not that hard to breathe. Okay, quick break, and I I had to answer one of my colleagues. And I ended up crying again. I don't know what's happening, but like apparently it's Women's Day. Um and so I'm not at work today, obviously. And so he was he essentially sent me these flowers, like there were 6 of them. There were flower baskets, and he was like, which one do you like, so I can like save it for you. um and I just started crying because because he is one of my favorite colleagues. And he's like a father figure to me. I don't know if you've ever had those. And he's unfortunately leaving. He's residing. And I just got emotional. Okay, it's not a crime. The fact that he was asking me the first, like, like he didn't want to take it to the office and for everyone to pick one, and then there's just only one left for me. He was asking me first. And I okay, I have issues. I have issues. Anyway, where was I? Yes, the show. Louis and Lestat. As if they aren't dark enough and in love enough to be Hannibal and Will, they had to go ahead and adopt a daughter to be their Abigail. You know what I mean? Like, you know? It's like it's the same shit. Like if you pick Louis for Will, And then Lestat for Hannibal, you get the same dynamics and relationships with their daughter, just with those two. It's like someone watched Hannibal and was like, this is great, but it's not gay enough. So they just created Interview with the Vampire. I will not give you any more like plot devices. I will not tell you anything like spoilery or anything, because if you haven't watched it, just please go watch it. Even if you're not into vampires, I am not into vampires, and I am into this too. I'm not like, there are 2 seasons, and the first season is mostly focused on Louis and Lestat just meeting, falling in love, forming this family, and then fucking it up, and then trying to like forming it up again. Um, but then season two introduces like a lot more characters and a lot of more plot devices, and it's actually like a complicated story, and it's like really beautiful. Um, so you've got it both. If you just want a love story, you can have it in season one. If you want like a complex plot, you can have it in season two. And then there's this plot twist at the end. Like, it's so good. Just please go watch it. I am speechless. I am speechless, but mostly like I want to talk about the performance of the actors. Like, how could they be so good? How could they be so good? Especially Louis and Lestat. Like, how could you be so good? I also really love the performance of Assad Zaman as Armand. Perfect. Perfect depiction of this vampire. That's I don't want to give too much away, okay? But please go watch it, please. The thing is, the finale of season two um, was the episode that wrecked me. Um, and I could not breathe for like a long time. I was just like staring at nowhere. And I was like, did you just see what happened? I'm still tearing up thinking about it because it was the best performance. Like, the only thing that could top the confession scene of Cass in Supernatural was this one. Okay? And it only tops it because it was a duo, with these. It was a duo, but like in Supernatural, Dean was just like, no, don't do it, please. And Misha was doing all the work. Um, Not that I don't like them. I'm just saying that Supernatural could have been a lot more uh beautiful and touching had it not been, you know, straight washed. But we're not talking about that today. The performance these two give is just free, you know? They are free to give love to each other. They're free to express what their characters are feeling and what they are feeling as actors. Um, and that's just more beautiful than a scene that's like only one of the actors believes in what he's doing. And Jansen was like, I don't know if Dean is okay with this. And then this group was like, well, I would prefer that he's not gay. So anyway, I am not here to hate on Supernatural. I'm just saying that I did not think that anything could top that, for me at least, and it did. It did. I'm at my parents' house right now, and there are strange sounds coming from nowhere. And I'm alone. After I finished the show, I had to just like go peruse the internet. But since that's too hard to do, I just asked ChatGPT. And I asked it a lot about like what happens later on in the series if they stay together. Okay, seriously. I kind of caught glimpses of Lestat being like just, you know, growing into this kind of prince, like a really big leader within the vampires. And I asked it if Louis is still with him. And it was like, yes, they're together. But, at some point in the series, Louis just is pushed in the background and it's more about Lestat. Not that I don't like that. I love Lestat. But I mean, he's an interesting enough character to just read about. But the thing that keeps me on the edge of my seat and keeps me wanting to know more about Lestat is his relationship with Louis. Most of all, maybe I'm the only one, but like the way the show is made, it makes you long for them. Um, and the fact that Louis is pushed off to the background, what do you mean, Anne? I hope that in the show they fix that. And if they decide to like continue with the whole series, I hope that Louis is still there. And I hope that they're still in love. And they, if they are not like going strong with the dynamic that they already have, like on and off, like what are we doing, like a Will Hannibal kind of thing, I hope they at least become an old married couple. I'll take that. I'll take that. But I cannot have Lestat going off about his business without the love of his life, Louis, being there. Okay? Because they're vampires, okay? Their love life, their love story wasn't just like 10 years or like 15 years, it was centuries long. And you can't make me believe that it's just gonna end, you know? You can't. So I hope that they fix that in the show, and I hope that the show goes on for several years because Sam Reed as Lestat, perfection. Perfection. Period. That's it. I just needed to yap about this show. Thank you if you came all the way with me. And I will see you later. Um, please let me know what you thought of it. If you have watched the show, please, and discuss it with me. Thank you. Mwah.